Good evening. It is Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We are back once again for Twilight Malediction, our persistent rhyme of the Frostmaiden campaign. I am your host and Dungeon Master, Manny, at GrowedUpGeek on all of the social medias, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. If you like what we do here, please give us a follow, sub, whatever the requisite platform requires of an acknowledgement of friendship. We appreciate it. We are back tonight, episode 17. Cruising along, almost to 2 seasons of Game of Thrones here. The party freshly level 5, so that'll be a nice little wrinkle. Extra attacks and crazy stuff ensues. Before we get to the game tonight, we always meet our amazing players, and we'll do a quick recap, and then we will jump right in. Let's start with the two that aren't hanging out at the party, as it were. Let's start with Dustin. Tell us about Kelroth, his new 5th level powers, if there are any, and what you and Orryn are playing with upstairs.
Yes, my name is Dustin. I am playing Kelroth. I am a half-elf cleric of the life domain and a little bit of a pacifist. And yes, level 5. I got all sorts of new magics. Some of them I can't use yet, but I've got, I can revivify. So as long as I don't die, everyone will be okay. And the healer trope. I can do some other interesting things. I got a trinket. We've got some kind of like amulet, and it lets me basically it implies that it sort of allows me to manipulate gravity, so I can like levitate and fly and all sorts of other cool things. Yep.
All right. All right. Lewis, thanks for the subscription. Appreciate it. Let us move over to our little gnome friend, also no longer in the party, despite kind of taking a shine to Rudiger, the one-armed half-orc. He's also missing an eye. Landon, tell us about Orryn.
So Orryn is a rock gnome artificer. Um, at level 5, he's got some new spells. He's a half caster, so it's only 2nd level spells, not quite as impressive as Kelroth's, but he also gets an extra attack. So now he can Thunder Gauntlet 2 enemies at once. Or just, hopefully not miss both times.
I mean,
Um,
you got twice as often to make me hit the Thunder Gauntlet, so you're good.
yes. He's just gonna be jabbing the whole time.
All right.
But that's Orryn.
I think there's a fresh battery in there, so we should be all right.
Awesome.
All right, fabulous. Let us move upstairs to one of our, party goers with the large reghead women, Volin Harpel, Rediger. Tenta, tell us about Jaatuuli.
I am Tenta. I'm playing Jaatuuli. Jaatuuli is a very large lizard man barbarian of the frozen waste, worshipper of Cryovane, and killer of many things. And at level 5, he's just even better at killing and surviving. So I'm going to enjoy myself.
Yeah, you're just becoming a big old bag of hit points that I'm going to have to chew through.
Yep.
All right, let's finish up with our monk, Lewis, our most recent resubscriber. Thank you very much, sir, for the support. Tell us about Baldr.
I'm Lewis playing Baldr. He is our Court Asmar way of the living weapon monk. Honing his skills, trying to, make sense of adventuring and decisions, and, try not to do any more terrible ones.
It seems like the right decision at the time as a universal Dungeons and Dragons party trope. Look, man, it seemed like a good idea. All right, so those are our fabulous players. Been with us since the beginning, the flagship show. We really appreciate them. This channel would not really kind of exist in it does right now without these guys, so we are always thankful. Once again, I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Manny, at GrowedUpGeek on your social medias. Yeah, this is our long-term campaign. We're back again. Last time, the party kind of finished up in the drow-infested mine, chasing after the one drow they had kind of lost track of as he fled through the cave network. They went to a lower level, crossed a dangerous kind of, double dare obstacle course esque thing, except Kelroth, who stayed on the other side and hung out. Know your limitations, homie. The rest crossed the way, found the drow, threatening as always, because, that's what they do. And as well, they found what looked like a frosted mind flare touching the crystals that were strewn about the mine that the players had encountered a few times before. Also, usually with drow involved. Killed the drow, got threatened by a booming disembodied voice, got the hell out. Upon exiting the mine, encountered somewhat familiar figures, members of the Reghead Goliath barbarian tribe. This time only the women. They came back quite injured, looking quite haggard, like they'd been through quite an experience. To find out that they had traveled south in Icewind Dale up the spine of the World Mountains in pursuit and potential rescue of the band of barbarians the players had come across 3-4 times in their travels through Icewind Dale. They were up there in pursuit of the renegade druid they have been in search of since basically the beginning of the party's arrival in Icewind Dale. They went back, had a little, post-beer kind of party, at which point their very good friend and her little compatriots, Valen Harple, showed up, basically kind of reinforced this mysterious threat in the mountains to the far south. And that's more or less where we left our players. Orryn and Kelroth are upstairs kind of examining their new magic item. Baldr and Jaatuuli are kind of downstairs in the bar hanging out. The Reghead Goliath women are engaging in feats of strength, arm wrestling, drinking contests, and the such. As well as Valen Harple in a kind of odd moment of almost humanity. Seems to be making polite conversation with some of the Goliath women, inquiring as to what they have seen and potentially what they know about this druid that the men had been in pursuit of, that she also kind of implored the party to pursue as well, if not for the sake of potentially rescuing the Reghead barbarians, but also that the threat posed by this druid could even eclipse that of Orryn herself. And so with that, we will pick up with, like I said, Orryn and Kelroth upstairs, Baldr and Jaatuuli downstairs, as the Valen Harple just kind of makes her way from interested party to interested party, cleverly inquiring. Rudiger's at the bar, just kind of taking it all in. His one arm sore from losing an arm wrestling contest to a couple of the Reghead barbarians. And we'll start, I guess, upstairs with Orryn and Kelroth, with the kind of commotion going on downstairs of the party. And we will pick it up there with our two players. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm like checking out this cool new like amulet that I sort of got, and we're discussing what it does, and I'm like, oh, like, okay, it's got a lot of interesting little features. I have to attune to it, so but that's okay. We don't have that many magical items yet. Um, yeah. Well, thank you for this item. It looks pretty useful. I'm sure I'll be able to find some uses for it.
I just wish that we would have found it, earlier in the day, so that with that rope you could have just flew over it instead of, you know.
I mean, yeah. To be fair, I'm quite excited to see what flying is like. This thing lets me fly, by the way.
See, it's pretty fun, until you find out that your bit of a rival changed up the potion of flying, and it was a levitate instead, so you couldn't. You know what? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter.
Well, it looks like it has limited time and charges, so I'm gonna have to be careful using this because if I get into a position that I can't get out of, I'd have to wait a whole day to get out of that position. I'm kind of like my only sadness is that it doesn't have like one charge for fly and one charge for levitate, so that I could fly somewhere, and then if I did run out of time, at least I'd be able to levitate down. But nope. Hey, did you know,
like
like,
a stone.
Orryn,
Yeah.
it is like a stone?
No, like you said, I was gonna say when you're like you fall, I was like you're gonna fall like a
Oh,
stone.
yes.
You're not gonna float.
I kind of just like bump and hit everything on the way down. Um, Orryn, do you like pranks? Are you like a
Yes,
prankster? You like a pranks? Okay.
of course.
Well, this amulet lets me do something really funny. And I'm gonna choose Baldr. And I'm gonna point in his vague direction. And I'm gonna just whisper, I'm behind you. I'm behind you. And I'm casting message, which makes it so that I can whisper something to somebody, and it goes through like 3 feet of woods. So this building stands no chance. I just gonna point his direction and just whisper.
What?
Adam.
What? Like downstairs in the general direction?
Yeah, it just says like I don't need to point directly at him. I just need to point in his vague direction, and as long as he's within 120 feet, which I assume he would be,
Yeah, the
I
bar's not that
can
big.
whisper at him.
All right. So downstairs.
It says here's the message and can reply, but it's in a whisper that only the person that I'm casting the spell at can hear.
So downstairs, as the kind of party continues, Jaatuuli and Baldr, what are you guys doing with Valen Harple kind of just making her way through everybody, and Rudiger basically just chilling at the bar?
I just now set down my tankard and tackled one of the barbarian women, and I'm wrestling them.
Okay. Smashing furniture, like a bar stool
Yeah.
goes
I'm
under.
about to defenestrate one of them in my favorite party trick.
Okay. All right. I don't know what Rudiger's going to be able to do about it. Baldr, what are you doing?
I am moving up to the bar to automatically give Rudiger money for the tables and chairs that my friend is about to destroy, because I've seen him get that look in his eye before, and I'm already like putting gold in a sack like for the bartender, like, and like proceeding over to him because I saw him get that like crazed look in his eye, and then like he just like jumped on one of the barbarians, and I was just like started shaking my head and walking towards the bar.
So as you kind of step over things like, a leg being
Yeah,
ripped
as it's
out,
happening, doing the whole
just cool as shit, just stepping over people, excuse me, as they kind of fall by. Rudiger just like gives you like a thanks and just kind of points to the end of the bar. As you kind of stand there, Valen Harple is pretty close by talking to one of the barbarians who seems to be kind of nursing like a swollen welt on the side of her head. She'd just gotten out of a feat of strength contest. And you hear like going on and on about like Arl's cruelty, and how she just this curse is just a demonstration of her cruelty towards all living things, and how it is a result of her being treated poorly by other gods, that they don't think she belongs, with them on their level, and as a result, she's out here making everybody miserable just to spite the other gods.
So hearing that, I kind of want to move towards that conversation and see if I can eavesdrop a little bit more. Just trying to find out as much as I can without like getting involved, but
As she continues to go on and on about Arl, the barbarian woman begins to discuss what she knows of the druid. Just that they believe the men to have sought off in pursuit, that they believe the drow druid was in a former dwarven stronghold in the Valley of the Frozen Kings, atop the spine of the World Mountains. She goes on to talk about how they believe that he is the source of everything with the blue eyes. They call it the ice curse in their parlance, and as well as that if they didn't leave when they did to go up the mountains, that Icewind Dale would truly be in danger. The threat from this druid was that dangerous. And Valin kind of goes on that she, hasn't really studied the druid. Her focus has been on Arl, and that how she feels very confident that soon she'll have a good idea of how to deal with her.
For this druid, did we see them?
Yes.
we've never.
You saw
we got like an outline.
saw an image of them or something.
Outline,
when
yeah,
you said the flying snake thing, right
Jaatuuli.
as it flew into the window, it saw like the back of them. And,
okay.
And then hold on, one other time.
But we haven't seen them.
No, we haven't
Not
we
physically.
haven't like face to face or anything like that. No.
And I think
I guess
there was.
I keep thinking the druid is somebody we already killed or something.
And there was
Because
one other
we've
time.
run into all those, like the what do you call them? The Luxodon.
Oh yeah.
But druid is the one causing the blue eyes. Is that what that's what people are implying?
That's what the barbarian tribe believes.
Okay.
Part of the reason for the men folk to, kind of maybe rashly pursue this course of action into, what's tantamount to basically like some of the highest peaks in this mountain, and having to go on by foot on the side of Icewind Dale that's cursed by winter. So like a shitty trip up a mountain is even fucking worse.
Yeah.
So
kind of after I eavesdrop that, I'll hear Kelroth's voice in my ear, and you'll see me just kind of look around, and then I'll just go
Rudiger
back
seems
to
concerned, like maybe you've had too much to drink.
Yeah, and so with that, I'll just kind of look at him and drop the money on the bar for him, and then I will look at Jaatuuli one more time and make sure he's not, killing anybody. And then I would like to go relay the information that I eavesdropped to Orryn and Kelroth and ask Kelroth why he's whispering in my ears.
Well, before that happens, I'm gonna do that, and then there's gonna be a momentary pause, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, that wasn't. I guess it's more fun if you see. I'm not very good at pranks. I apologize. I cast a spell on Baldr. Anyways, I'll try harder next time. I'm not good at this. From our perspective, nothing happens. So we just, damn it.
Orryn gives a little disappointed look.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like
Look, next time I'll tell you to go downstairs, and then damn it. I'm tired. Okay.
Orryn says, "You want to know how to do a real prank?" And he grabs one of his like one of his items, right? Like the little inventions that produces a smell, and he sets it
No.
to the smell of just straight like meat, and he like hides it under Jaatuuli's bed, like where like it's. I'm assuming it's low to the ground and bolted in, so he can't like reach it. You know, I just leave it there.
Okay. Like,
Smelly barbecue in here.
I feel like that's gonna result in a broken bed.
It's funny whether
Oh.
whether it's the bar's expense or Jaatuuli's expense. It's funny.
I guess I'll have to wait and see. I'm not good. Okay. That smells odd. I have to say, it's an
Well,
odd smell. You can just make any smell?
Yeah, I can make any smell. I can also make sounds too. But,
That's crazy. I'm more
You ever
fascinated
want-
by your ability to make smells than the idea of how this prank will work.
So like
yeah.
you'll like I'll open up the door as they're talking with each other, and I'll just kind of like look at them and.
Oh, hello.
Were either one of you just downstairs?
No, we're testing out this, and I pull out the artifact, and I'm just like, this new thing. It gives us, it gives me, or the user of it, additional powers, including the ability to send messages through walls and stuff. Did you get my
Oh.
message?
Yeah, I got your message.
Oh, okay. It was just
kind of made me feel like a
test.
crazy person.
Oh.
So
Yeah, see, okay. Yep.
I found some information out.
Yes.
It comes to I come to find out that they call it the ice curse, the blue eyes, and it's not from Oral. It's from the druid. I feel Oral's curse has upset more than just the townsfolk. Maybe the thing that had power in this region before may have lost some of its power due to this and is now trying to regain some is lost. And then I also want to tell them my plan to find out about dwarven strongholds. I want to start asking around town. Like people know we're adventurers by now, and that we've heard that there are old dwarven settlements in the mountains and stuff like that that aren't inhabited anymore, and I kind of want to make it seem like we're gonna go like spelunking into them for like money to see what we can salvage, but at the same time I kind of want to tell them that it's more to try and find out more information about this druid, because I found out that he's been taking refuge in one of the old dwarven settlements.
Oh, okay. So the druid has been hiding out in dwarven settlements.
I believe he and the drow, so it may benefit us to actually.
Is the druid a dwarf?
I don't know.
Hmm.
All I found out was, the information.
Well, I happen to know 2 dwarves in town. I could go and ask them.
I mean, we could all
here,
we
a
could
little
all
bit
like
racist. I'm like, all dwarves know dwarf
Yeah,
stuff, right?
you
Like,
know that.
Everybody knows.
dwarves, a little
Beard,
bit
about you ain't
racist.
tall. Don't tell me you don't know. You absolutely do. Stop playing.
Listen, I'm a half elf.
Yeah.
Everyone hates me. No, okay.
So we're in.
I mean, in the morning, yeah, I could go over and check with them, and maybe they know if there's any abandoned settlements or dwarven cities or something like that in the.
Oh, I was just thinking
area.
if there's any other like places that we could go that would have something like I know the blacksmith might know. Some of the
Or-
people in like Hundlestone might know.
Oh, that's true. I'd have to wait to hear back. I already sent them a
Like
message.
we could go back to like the Frosty Mug, and see if anybody knows back there.
And
or-
what's his name? Trollsbane. He's a dwarf.
Yeah. Well, also we the other like quest we have from the mayor is to go investigate that dwarven fortress to the east from the Drow. So it's
Oh, okay.
it may be like kind of two birds one stone type deal.
Too bad it wasn't a lizard settlement, and we could just ask Jaatuuli, huh?
Jaatuuli, you know everybody. What's going on over there?
You know all the lizard folk, right?
You know all the lizard folk, right?
Call
You know
your-
all the
Call your cousin.
Right.
Yeah.
Call your cousin. As the party kind of continues downstairs, and Jaatuuli is met quite, firmly and absolutely in like an even combat with one of the Reghead tribeswomen, friendly taunting the entire time. Out of the corner of his eye, amongst the struggle with the 8 foot tall woman destined for Snoo Snoo, Valyn Harple kind of suddenly jerks, and you see her make a move, pick up her little kind of harness with the 3 chains, collecting her undead kobolds, and bursting out like the door into like the darkness with not a mention or and not even saying goodbye, just boom, out the door and gone.
Jaatuuli sees this out of the corner of his eye, turns around and goes, "Hold," and gives her a quick jab, and walks off and opens the door and starts looking for Millen Harper to see where she went.
You see like some footprints that could be a person, but even more distinctly the kind of dragging, sweeping kind of paths through the snow, indicative of her undead pets. And it kind of goes out the big barn door that everybody's been coming and going through, makes almost a U-turn up and just almost disappears like out of nowhere. The sudden little dragging marks of the kobold stomp and the footprints kind of just slowly fade and become further apart until they are lost in the night. Wizards, man.
And everybody else is upstairs, right?
Yes. You were wrestling with a tribeswoman. They're upstairs, like plotting stuff.
All right. Is there can I tell they're all in? There's like a window into that room that they're in.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like most taverns. You guys are the only guests, so any light that you would see from the street would be most likely from the party.
All right. I'll go ahead and climb up the outside wall of the tavern until I get up to the window where they're at, and then press my face and look all maniacal and like at the window.
You call that
Given
a
my
press
high
Given the
passive
side eye.
perception, I'll be like, "Oh, Jesus! Oh,
And I'll be like,
there's a Jaatuuli."
Orryn gets a little scared too.
So
I'm
you're
just knocking at the window. Ding, ding, ding.
I'll open up the window. Hello. There's a door on this side.
I'll come in and be like, oh, Harple left. Not sure where she went. Her tracks ended. She must have magically traveled.
She didn't say where she was going or nothing.
Nope, she just turned and left. Perhaps it was Jaatuli's prowess, which was too much for her.
Possible. Probable.
We'll put it on the list.
Yeah. All right. We were actually just discussing what our next move was, since, we solved all this town's problems and they have no more issues. So
we should leave as soon as we can.
Just know I don't like it when you say things like that.
Wait, what? I'm not good at friends, okay? Listen, I was trying to make a joke.
I know, and the way this town is going, our problems have only compounded since the beginning. So with you making jokes like that, it doesn't make me feel any better.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, ow.
What'd you do?
I think he got bit.
Oh,
Or
the cat sunk his claws in.
oh okay. Jaatuuli fell on you coming
violent.
through the window clumsily.
You take 2d10 damage.
You need 10 piercing damage.
Piercing or slashing. The cat could be either one.
Ow. Yes, okay, so, well, it sounds like we need to investigate this druid dude. It sounds like he's an issue. And it looked like we might want to head to a dwarven sort of like settlement or fortress or like abandoned city or something.
Yeah, we need to get like a lay of like how many of them are and like the area where they are, like with general like proximity to certain things.
It seems like yeah, he's been like, it makes sense, like a druid mind controlling the animals. I guess we just kind of assumed the blue eyes were like Arl.
Yeah, we totally
winter
did
stuff,
for sure.
But maybe it's a druid. That would make a little more sense, I suppose.
Why? It's always been animals and nothing else.
Pretty much, right?
Well, no, I guess the
Wolves
people,
and
the
bears.
dude.
No, there were some
It's been a
people
couple.
too, but they were necklaces, right? They were wearing necklaces.
And various other little things that
Yeah.
worth
Bits and baubles.
yeah.
Baubles and
What exactly would
Such.
a little fat dwarf live in?
stone.
Most dwarfs live in mountains or
Yeah. Actually,
hovels in
they
the
live in
ground.
like really sophisticated and complicated stone structures
Well,
in mountains.
hovel just like refers to like something in the ground usually.
Yeah.
Why would they live underground? That's awful.
Have you been underground recently?
Yeah.
I've been told. Now, I don't have a lot of dwarven friends, but I've been told that they eat rocks. Or eat gems, maybe, and that's why they love the earth so much. Now, I'm not a professional on dwarves.
I had
but
a dwarven
that's
friend.
just a suspicion I have.
He
Dwarves.
wasn't a normal dwarf, but he definitely did not eat rocks.
I mean, maybe they eat them in secret. Maybe it's like
He was very knowledgeable of gems.
they're embarrassed that they have to eat rocks and
And-
gems.
Rocks themselves, but he never did he eat rocks in my presence.
Well, sounds like we should ask a
What?
dwarf.
What many dwarves?
That's
help
what
you?
I said. I said we know dwarves.
We're just gonna go like trompsing down to the blacksmith. Hey man, do you eat rocks?
Hey, no.
No. That we're not asking about the eating rocks. We want to keep that's a cultural thing. It's inappropriate to ask stuff about that. We're more trying to find out about the dwarven.
Hey man,
abandoned dwarven
what's your house look
settlements,
like? You living in you
No,
living in
no,
the
no,
shack
no.
down by the road?
right? No.
Where you living?
In a
Did
van
did
down by
anyone
the
like
river.
mark on a map where the dwarven city was? Do we have a general idea of where it
No.
might be? No.
We haven't even looked into this. Like, we haven't even looked into any dwarven, like, anything.
But we were hinted that the druid had been operating out of there or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we were hinted at the druid was operating out of a dwarven settlement, and we were also told that drow were using a dwarven settlement as a base. So, like, we have a chance of like running into two different bad guys at the current moment in time. It's like
What
just going
about
into these dwarven settlements.
what about
So,
that
like,
thing
that's
that
kind of why.
was in the mountains? Dwarves live in the mountains. We saw that big structure in the mountains. Is that where we want to go?
Like by the horseshoe mountains or whatever, like at the top of the
I
forest.
I
thought
think
they
that'd
were
be a
in
good
the
idea.
south because when
Yeah, they were
when
in the south.
Jaatuuli used the animal to see into the fortress, something talked to him or something, right?
Yes.
Something threatened him.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, it did.
that seems
Unpleasant.
like bad, and we like to walk towards bad things, don't we?
Now that you bring it up, it does make me want to kill.
But-
Well,
It doesn't.
a lot of things make you want to kill.
These things haven't outright been our enemies as of yet. None of these things have come out and
No,
just
well,
attacked us
things with
outright.
blue eyes
I
attacked
feel
us.
I feel this,
quite a few times.
but we were, interfering in their area. What? My theory, like, this is like Baldr's basically just gonna like start walking you down his theoretical path of misfortunes. But basically, what he was thinking was that the druid used to be the power in the area. Like, he, and then Oral came back, seized power from the druid. Druid didn't like that, so now he's trying to, like, carve out his little niche now in this area. So, friend of an enemy can be a friend. Still not our friend, but we can, combine forces and be like, hey, we need your help, or we can find out more about him and, find out why he's our enemy, to at least before we engage in battle.
So
I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I guess we don't really have enough information quite yet to know if we could pit them against each other or what good that might come
We'll
to.
put them against Jaatuuli, and I would kill them all.
all right,
We
so
could kill them all.
up in the stream, in the little window, the little cluster of trees that's kind of in the middle, that's basically where you guys are. That's Lonely Wood. The
Up at the top. Or like middle
like the middle left,
where the
like,
lake is.
Yes, you're on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of northeast portion of that, like 1 o'clock relative to the lake is where Lonely Wood is. The Dwarven Fortress to investigate is going to be very far to like the east, almost on the edge of the map. The maps that the Drow have had on them lead to the south through like the mountains, basically heading back towards like Faerun proper.
Oh, that's the map that I picked up from the drow that we killed in the mines.
Yes, and then there was also a rough map
Yeah.
that you found in the cave with the hags on the Drow there.
That also had, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, okay, so we've got a bunch of drow clues kind of pointing us in the same direction. Is that where we want to go?
Like the southeast.
Yeah.
basically
And
like
then
our
like Jaatuuli had the vision and there was some kind of bad male individual there, assumedly. So like
So either way, we can get paid for this. So we can either like
That's
ransack old dwarven, mines and stuff like that, or we can deal with
maybe
the
find
drow.
some treasure.
Deal with the drow, get paid by the mayor, and then...
I mean, we kind of have an overarching like let's deal with this curse thing, and a lot of things have pointed in this direction. Now, if they're two separate curses like Blue Eye Curse and Weather Cloud no Summer Curse are related, we don't really quite know, or if they're the same, or if they're two separate things. It's kind of starting to sound like they're two separate things, but in that case, we just got double the workload. What the hell?
Yeah.
Welcome to tier 2, y'all. Third
So
level
much
spells come 2 attacks, come 2 quests.
Yeah.
It's only fair.
I feel we need to
Well, we have
increase our
these maps.
supplies as well.
Well, that's fair. I mean, if we go to the south towards where the maps are pointing, we could stop by Brinchander.
We
since
can
it's
stop
like
by.
on the way.
Well, I mean, shit, we can go through East Haven and everything too. Wasn't that another big city? Like that wasn't that like the other area that there was like actual people and stuff that we.
Yeah,
Is it in that direction, or is that in the other direction?
The maps are like crudely drawn, mostly based on like landmarks or frames of reference. All of them have East Haven as basically like a central frame of reference for the maps.
So then we could go to East Haven. Okay,
So we
that makes
basically
sense.
could just make a straight shot from town to town to town, getting information.
Yeah, we can
supplies
see if
as
we
we
can run
go.
into Kessel and Trollsbane and just see if anyone has any particular information in regards to the thing that we're looking for. Jaatuuli kind of knows what it looks like. He sort of saw it.
Wasn't it like a big like stone like
It was a big
buttress tower like?
black stone buttress tower, I believe. It was ominous.
Hmm. I think that's where we should go. I mean, that's our next. I think that's our next step.
That's fine. Trollsbane and Kessel are going to be in Targos. Bryn Shander, you've got your dwarven smithy buddies, as well as the kind of central hub of 10 towns. Probably the most knowledgeable place, at least as far as comings and goings go. East Haven is where they burned Dazan, and you guys gave them the kettle that produced infinite food so that the mayor could kind of empower himself and drive out the cult of oral worshippers as you
So it would be
knew them
good to
at the
just
time.
check on these people for a second off too. Yeah, just check in, make sure nobody's abusing the power we gave them.
What, by
Burn
giving away too
Dazan's
many free meals?
simulacrum.
No, burn,
Well, I
burn
mean,
real
not
Dazan.
like,
Not
Yeah.
well.
but like make
That's
sure
what you
he's not
say.
hoarding it. Like making like, oh, you want a meal today? Well, I need this like type of thing.
Russian bread lines, sad. All right, so
Yeah, exactly.
do you guys just want to make
His-
like the loop along the trade road to?
The long rest first.
Okay.
Everyone's in my room and I'm still sleepy.
All right, I don't say you guys got to go home, but everybody shut the fuck up and try to sleep.
Yeah, I have magic and all these kind of things.
Okay.
And yeah. So yeah, if we're wrapping up and I'm like scooting everyone out of my room, I wanted to see if I can get Jaatuuli's attention. Just want to talk to Jaatuuli for a quick second.
Everybody get out, not you.
Alone.
Are you trying to be subtle about it, or are you gonna just?
I'm gonna be mildly subtle about it, but it's also me, so not that subtle.
Doing the best I can.
I'm gonna like wait for everyone to walk out, but if you're like kind of starting to leave first, I'm gonna be like, oh, hey, Jaatuuli, something I wanted to just ask you about real quick.
All right. When everybody else leaves, I'll walk over to Kelroth and stare down at you.
Oh,
Yes.
oh. This is I had a question for you, and I've been known to make broad sweeping statements about particular types of people that I'm not familiar with. And I was wondering, is it normal for your people to have red glowing eyes? Because I've seen blue glowing eyes, but I've never seen red glowing eyes. I'm just curious.
Whose eyes glow red?
Your eyes do. I saw it once, just out of the corner of my eye. Yeah, when we were fighting.
I have no idea of this red eyes.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah. Am
Yeah,
I
Manny knows.
insight into myself? Am I crazy? 14. I don't think so.
I just want to know if I believe that he believes that, because I feel confident in what I saw, but maybe he doesn't know. I rolled a 10. I want to say though that it was on 20 and then it went beep over to 2.
I am positive. I have no fucking idea. At a 10, the
It's
math
fine.
is just gonna say you're genuinely not sure one way or the other.
Okay, that's fine.
Maybe you're wrong. Him kind of saying something about it maybe goes, hey, maybe I did make it up. Maybe.
Okay, I was just curious. I don't know. Anyways, that's all. It was kind of scary. I mean, I guess to be fair to you, kind of scary is your forte, but I just, yeah, yeah, okay, that's all.
Okay.
Good night.
Then turns around, gives him the Michael Jackson Thriller look with the eyes.
I mean,
Vincent Price
Kelroth
laughed.
would genuinely be intimidated by Jaatuuli just by presence alone, so
That
was appropriate.
You say so.
I'm still gonna stay alert to that, but I have no assumptions really. I'm just like, I thought that was odd, and that's all.
Okay. Everybody gonna kind of go back to their room for their rest for the night?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to go downstairs and take the anklet that we took off of the barbarian druid that was like crazy in the woods that we fought.
Uh-huh.
I want to give it to like the head barbarian downstairs.
Okay.
And kind of like we ran into this lone wanderer in our travels. We defended ourselves against her. I feel she wasn't herself when she attacked us, but I want you to know that we gave her a warrior's death.
She kind of takes the anklet with the bones on it, looks at it, gets a little tear in her eye. These are the signs of our high priestesses, some of the finest members of our tribe. It is a shame that these times have driven us to this. And you notice she kind of like gives it a little brush, and really fine little bits of the black crystal dust that you've seen in the mine and in the cave outside of East Haven kind of flutter through the air, and you notice the glittering in the air as she kind of dusts it off.
I would like to apologize again if we have done something to offend your tribe. Just know we had no idea at the time.
The men spoke very highly of your valor and your desire to do well in this cursed land in these dark times. We know battle and war do not always make for the clearest of heads, and an acknowledgement of imperfection is as close to anything real as we can hope for in these times. I thank you. My tribe thanks you, and we hope that you may listen to the undead wizard woman and go into the mountains to search for our tribesmen and help them with this druid.
Are you enemies with this druid? Was this druid around before the curse of Oral?
The druid is new. It seeks to capitalize on the desperation and the pain that Oral has inflicted in her jealousy and her pettiness. The druid seeks only destruction and the complete annihilation of Icewind Dale, while Oral merely cares about impressing deities and demonstrating her cruelty.
So it seems both of these beings are only interested in pain to this land.
One, so that they may cause harm, the other, so that they may feel better about themselves.
So I'll order a round of drinks for everybody, and I'll put another 25 gold on the bar, and I'll raise a glass to the barbarians, and I'll basically make a toast to imperfection
And
and the things that bring, and to valor in battle. May you all seek it and find it. And then I'll give them a cheers, drink, and then I'll go upstairs to my room for the evening.
big cheer amongst them. Kessel kind of grabs your first, your security deposit bag, plus the new little coin purse you gave him. And as he looks through it and kind of, does the rough counting with his fingers in the open bag, kind of goes, if you guys are gonna pay me like this, you can burn this place down. I don't care. And he reaches under the bar and pulls out a very nice.
I'm trying to buy you a new arm, friend. Just jokingly.
Why? so that my brother can take that too, or my sister can take that too.
For your reference too, that was I gave him. So that was 50 gold that I gave him between the two bags.
Okay. He pulls out a very nice cask. All of its joints are unbelievably well fit. The wood is perfectly sanded, and it has Elvish writing on it. And pulls out just these tiny little glasses with a little finger loop, like the tiniest little teacup you've ever seen. This calls for a special occasion. He just boop, 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 bunch of little drinks. Looks at the reghead women. Gives Baldr a little one before he goes, and then gives him 3 more with lids on them. Give these to your friends and tell them thank you. This place has not seen glorious, honorable warriors in a long time. Between yourselves and these ladies here, it was good to feel like a warrior and part of a tribe, and knowing that you can accomplish anything. I thank you and your friends again, and I wish you a restful sleep tonight.
I wish you'd keep this place open. It seems the taverns that we frequent in this land are our only true respites, so I hope you keep this as a refuge to all who travel, and then I'll take the glasses in my hand and kind of give him the cheers and go upstairs, and I'll kind of like knock on the door and see if anybody was still in Kelroth's room, and I'll kind of like give him the knock and like the slow open as I do. And who was it that was gave? What's the dude's name? The one arm guy. What's his name
Rudiger.
that he just gave us the drinks? Igor.
What? Rudiger.
Oh, Rudiger. Okay, so I'll kind of go to them and I'll be like, Rudiger gave us these to drink. I don't know what they are, but I feel it is important, just due to size. And I kind of like look at it as it's like a almost like thimble glass, and I'll look at Orryn and I'll go, this one might even be small for you.
It is a little small.
So I'll
What
kind of
is
like
it?
cheer.
It's just like a little.
It's like a small little teacup.
And I'll just kind of like give everybody the thing and boom, pound it back.
I cast detect poison and disease.
As he's doing like casting it, I'm already like you kind of like see like one of my eyes just get real big, like.
I didn't think to ask that question.
Shit.
He's like causes instant death. No.
Does anybody else want to drink, or you want to wait?
There's too much ingesting happening in our adventuring group. I feel like this spell is gonna save our lives one day.
He doesn't even care. He's like, yes.
Okay.
Orryn will drink his spell.
All right.
Must be really small to Jaatuuli, like a little tiny marble-sized glass.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably gonna have a hard time like actually holding it between either.
You're
like,
holding it with like the sharpest nails.
Yeah,
you
like
have.
or you're gonna have to like pinch it together with like 2 fingers. All right, so Orryn, yes. Baldr, yes. Jaatuuli, yes. Kelroth?
Detect poison and disease.
Nothing. Nothing comes up.
Then I begrudgingly drink random beverages given to me.
All right. Let's go ahead and
See, we're growing on you.
let's
Does
just-
it even taste good?
it is unbelievably.
There's too much suspicious ingestion of random things handed to us
It's thick
as a group.
and viscous. Has kind of like a root. It tastes like Jaeger. All right, it's Icewind Dale Jaeger.
Dale Jaeger.
You feel warm. You feel slightly overconfident. You feel like you could just go like headbutt Oral right now. You want to call your ex. Just a whole bunch of things.
I'm like, you know what this needs?
This is liquid
Like,
bad
like,
decisions,
like
what
it,
you're
like
saying.
I don't know. It's just kind of missing something. Like it's not sweet enough. It doesn't have that caffeine kick. It needs like an explosion in my mouth. That's what I'm kind of. Anyways, I enjoy it.
As the kind of thick burning goes down, tastes like burning. And it passes. Everybody finds themselves immensely tired, and like I said, overwhelmed by emotion. You want to call your ex, and just see how they're doing. You're suddenly very hungry. The party downstairs has very obviously like simmered down. It couldn't sustain itself for that long, and night falls on the inn and tavern owned by Rudiger.
I am changing so many spells.
At some point, you sleep for quite a while between all the exertion, the close death at the hands of the drow, the significant amount of alcohol imbibed provided by Rudiger, and the morning comes. And what, you guys left your axe beaks here? Where'd you leave them? Bryn Shander?
You rode them back from the mountain. That I remember.
And then what, you left them in Bryn Shander, or you brought them with you up here?
No, so they're
didn't-
with us up here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
they're with us up here. We had to leave. The only place we ever
got off
left
them to have the fight.
was at the mountain, and then we rode them off the mountain.
Okay.
So, but we didn't take them up to the cave.
Right, you left them in town, or okay. Well, you would have. Yeah, doesn't matter. All right, so Rudiger's got your axe beaks out front. You hear him kind of, cawing and making sounds.
I look at the group and say, "I covered Jaatuuli last night. Somebody's got to pay the man for the birds."
They're all ready to go. They look brushed, well fed, quite in good spirits. And if there's nothing else, you're going to head off to Targos? You're going to do like a big loop through...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
I pay the gentleman.
In a big line. Yeah.
Okay.
The gentle half orc. Dingling. There you go. Some money.
So you set off, mid-morning ish. It's about a 4-hour ride unimpeded by Axebeak, or no, actually about 2 hours unimpeded by Axebeak to Targos. The town looks a lot different as you kind of re-enter. It was one of the first places you encountered in Icewind Dale. It was under the rule of a corrupted speaker who you guys promptly dethroned and destabilizing the government. And
as we do.
Yeah, it's just, we're like the CIA like that. And on your way out, you asked Kessel, your friend who'd watched his brother die, to kind of assume a leadership role with the hand of Trollsbane, something of a local marshal / law enforcement of the 10 towns. And as you do, you kind of see foot traffic, and were it not for your knowledge of this curse, it would appear to everybody that this is probably almost what like everyday life looks like in a small town in Icewind Dale. Everybody seems to be kind of moving. Kessel's notorious sled has been moved to the speaker's office, the kind of government building in the middle. The people look happy. Business seems to be thriving. And inside you can kind of hear Kessel sounding dignified and kind of ordering people around like somebody in charge would do.
I approach one of the guards aggressively, and I try and look down at him through my nose, even though I'm not that tall. And I'm just like, "We're here to see Kessel." And I kind of make side eyes at Jaatuuli, like, am I doing this right?
They kind of look at you quizzically, put the pieces together. Big, tall lizard man, gnome. Hey, they're here. If you just wait right here for a moment, we have to, check with the speaker. You can't just show up.
Yes, well, don't make us
unannounced.
wait long.
Oh, yes, of course. And you can see him kind of eyeballing Jaatuuli and slowly backing up away from them. And as he does, somebody kind of comes out from the office and taps him on the shoulder, gives him a little nod. The speaker will see you now. And he kind of gets out of your way and gives you actually a courteous bow as you slide by and into this kind of audience chamber. And you see your boy, the grumpy, dwarven smuggler who you helped,
survive being shot by an arrow and being bashed by a kobold and
yeah, and you helped him, you helped him smuggle something into Icewind
oh yeah,
Dale.
that a random artifact that's probably a weapon of mass destruction. And...
hey, he doesn't ask questions, and neither should you.
Well, we did. So.
And he sits there and he does his best to kind of look, dignified and in charge. But deep down, you can see he's kind of excited to see his friends, essentially. Welcome to Targos. I am Speaker Kessel. How may I assist you, adventurers?
We're here to overthrow the speaker of this town. We've heard of No, I'm just kidding.
Again?
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. I had a winter jagger.
After me, you
last
think
night.
anybody's going to take this job? Good luck.
Well, what happened to that, like, hobo? What, the innkeeper? I forgot his name. I'm sorry. Wasn't he like Owen Wilson? Was that his name? I forgot.
I don't remember.
You're talking
he was-
about.
Yeah. Do you remember it?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me look at my notes.
This was like 11 episodes ago, I think.
Probably more.
Yeah.
Owen. Luskin. The Luskin Arms. Owen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Owen. I call him Owen Wilson. Yeah, he was kind of having aspirations, and you just swept him. You just took over, huh? All right. Well, we
Well,
have.
yes.
Games aside, we're here, doing our thing. You know what our thing is, and we're investigating. We think that one of the causes of some of the troubles in Icewind Dale is potentially in like a old dwarven settlement, or like an old, like maybe an abandoned fort or something like that in the mountains. The Jaatuuli saw it. It was sort of like a black stone tower, and it was in a mountain. You wouldn't happen to know anything about this, or maybe point us in the direction of somebody who might, because that's how we're going to solve these problems.
Kind of sits back for a minute and ponders something, whether it's an act, as somebody would kind of do in his position, or whether he's genuinely thoughtful. Do you mean where that aurora is over the mountains?
What do you mean by aurora?
There's been an aurora here for many months. There used to be 3, now just the 2. One over the sea of moving ice, and one high in the mountains.
You speak like you're talking about the lights in the sky, right?
Yes, they seem to be in those 2 locations alone.
I guess. I mean, I didn't really know if they signify anything, but it sounds like, yes, the one in the mountains, that's kind of where we're setting our sights for the moment.
It has been many years. I once traveled there to move an object. The dwarves, if it's what I'm thinking of, the Valley of the Frozen Kings, were some of the finest forgers in all of all dwarves. They built a furnace and a forge so large that it was rumored they could forge an entire siege engine into one piece. The fortress was dug so deep into a mountain as to strike a volcanic vein, just incredibly hot, could melt anything. We've looked to there. It's far, it's dangerous. It is on the other side of essentially the highest peak on the Spine of the World Mountains, and an unbelievably treacherous journey.
I like unbelievably treacherous journeys.
I imagine you
I'm
do,
thinking
my
like
friend.
Avengers, and I'm like, yeah, well, we have a Jaatuuli.
I'm gonna pick the dwarf up, start swinging him around.
Okay, that's good. Do you know if anyone else has more information about that? That might be where we're headed.
It's been centuries since the Frostbeard dwarves abandoned their home. We we don't know. It has been many years since I've been there. But based on where that light over the mountains originates from, I'm almost positive that's where it is.
Okay. That gives us a good like indicator of which direction to go. Follow the light. All right. Well, we're just in town for a little bit. We were kind of hoping to stop in a couple of places on the way, gather as much information and equipment as we can. Do you know if there's anything of, that could help us out on such a journey in town?
Here in town, not so much. We're having a hard time kind of getting back on our feet. Providing for our people has been hard since the transition from Speaker Nerth, and we are mostly just concerned about keeping us safe and prospering. We don't deal with the word and the goings-ons outside of Targos.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see that things are going well here and that you've grown into your new role. It's always good to see the growth of, a courageous individual.
Kind of sits there and it's like, this job sucks. If it's not me, this place would go to hell in a handbasket. It needed somebody tough, and it has to be me.
Yeah, I mean, you're a tough guy.
Trollsbane's off chasing Vulin Harple from point A to point B.
Have you seen him
Haven't.
recently?
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him in weeks. He had something about that crazy wizard and set off after, and I haven't seen him in.
He should just hang with us. We see her all the time.
Really? When did you see her?
Just, I mean, what, like last night? She just teleports. She's like, "Yo, what's up?"
I hope Trollsbane's okay.
I'm sure he's fine. He's a tough guy.
Do you know where he set off to?
Just that he's been chasing her down. She's been all over the 10 towns and up towards the northeast from here, doing whatever it is that she's been doing, and he said he had to find her.
I wouldn't worry too much about her.
I don't trust that villain.
I think she's a combination of a red herring and and someone who we can defeat if we have to. She's not the major threat right now, so let's not worry about her.
Fair.
Until she starts burning other townsfolk or whatever. But
is there anything that you need, Kessel, for?
No, we don't have time for this. I don't say that out loud.
No, we just.
I did not say that out loud.
He just kind of looks around. I mean, just like anybody in a position of authority, he looks tired, kind of pale. But, I'll make it. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and with all this cursed nonsense and everything else, somebody's got to do it, and it's got to be me. My brother cared about this town, and this is where he wanted to spend the rest of his life. And I'm going to honor him by making sure there is a place that remains.
That's an honorable goal. We wish you luck, and don't worry, we'll be back around. And if you need a pair of strong hands to deal with a adventuring type situation, know that you can always reach out to us one way or another, even if we're sometimes preoccupied with saving the world and stuff like that.
I know, boys. I know what you've done and who you all are, and the generosity of your spirits as far as saving this area.
As long as we're paid, our generosity goes so far.
Should I need something, you are absolutely the first adventurers I'll call. Probably because you're the
Excellent.
only ones here.
Oh, yes. We'll pretend you didn't say that, and we're off.
Very well. Show them out, he commands, and like the guardsmen like pound spears on the ground. They turn all in unison, and kind of give you like an honorary kind of guard as you exit the audience chamber. And as you walk, they all kind of pound their spears on the ground and start to like holler. And by the time you're walking out of the office, they're in like a full, like, you know, kind of like holler and loud sounding, celebratory, honorary, all those kind of, you know, those things as you make your way out. And as you spill out into the streets, they burst into a round of applause that starts to get picked up through the people walking the streets as they slowly start to recognize the very distinguished party of an Aasimar, a half-elf, a giant lizard man, and a gnome.
This is the worst part about being a hero.
Can't even go out to eat. They kind of...
I just imagine being in a restaurant and people are like, yeah, why? You're just like, trying to eat here.
Trying to eat, man, it's cool. They just kind of keep going about their day for a minute, but they do stop for a kind of noble, like, round of applause as I guess you get back on your axe beaks. And head off to Bryn Shander?
Yep.
Okay.
Seems reasonable.
40 minutes later, it's getting to be mid-afternoon as you kind of pull through the southwest gate of Bryn Shander, make your way to the kind of center. I don't know why I don't have this map like just forever in here. The kind of center of town with the speaker's office, the smithy, and then the tavern all the way to the north end.
So we can ask the mayor and see if she knows anything.
She didn't talk to us. Doesn't she hate us? Don't we hate her?
Give me both.
No.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure she's an
What
Arl worshiper who hates us.
I mean, did we?
I mean, we just like we stopped here and chatted with her. Then we went to the next town and killed the other Arl worshiper. So I don't think she's gonna want to talk to us.
I didn't. I thought she was Black Iron Blades. I didn't think she was an Arl worshiper.
No, she's definitely an Arl worshiper.
Oh.
Even the priest was telling us about her, and like, this is like the only town we haven't purged yet. Needs a good purging.
Yeah, that's because the priest is dude that worships the morning
Lathander.
lord. Yeah, he worships the Thunder. We really don't know anything about this mayor chick. Like, we really don't.
We've talked to her once or twice,
never,
like
14
episodes
yeah,
ago.
but we've never hey, what's your story? We've never we've always just been
we were
what
just
you got for us?
definitely Arl worshiper.
We made broad generalizations about you, and we will unfairly not move from them. So
Okay, she's a crazy old lady who was like.
You're supposed to be a pacifist. Are you a racist too?
I can be judgmental.
I mean, it's kind of implied that I'm sort of a passive racist.
Not intentionally. I just don't know any better.
I'm just like if you want, Kelroth has the sort of upbringing that kind of makes you a little prejudiced, not in a overt way, but in a I was raised well.
As you kind of make your way into the city, at the smithy, the kind of typical low rumble of an argument can be heard from outside, and
I cast Shield of Faith on myself.
And just a moment after the argument kind of rises to a certain level, a pair of A pair of blacksmith tongs comes crashing through the bay window. The voices of two dwarves heard ever more clear now that the window is broken. And it's the usual. Like, I can't stand you. Father always chose you better. You know, that whole thing.
We really need to talk to this man about getting a magic window put in, because I feel he's spending a lot of money.
That makes a lot more sense. I thought you were gonna say let's get involved, and I was like, nope.
That's his sister, bro. I don't get involved in family
Dick,
stuff.
okay, just double checking. I'm gonna speak through the broken window. I'm gonna be like, hello.
He's kind of like stick your eye through it.
Yeah, just
Hey,
like
you're doing a full Jaatuuli, just one eye, like.
I was just wondering if the proprietor of this place was here. I'm looking for someone to sue for this black eye I have, and I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy and sort of give myself a.
See, you're even hurting our only
make
customers.
My eyes sort of like black a little bit, you know.
I'm gonna tell everybody you hate the heroes of 10 towns, that you threw a set of tongs at them. They'll boo you right out of this town. What they did to Dazan will look like a vacation compared to what they'll do to you.
Yes, but on brighter news, we're here for business. Ooh.
You hear a kind of like relatively high pitch for a dwarf, like kind of screaming from the back. A bunch of like tools hitting the floor, and then the back door open and then slam shut again. And
we've never actually seen this person, have we?
No. You're
His sister? No, we've just
been a real
we've
person.
all been assaulted by her by throwing stuff out the window, and then like she's always gone by the time we walk in the door.
As the door slams in the back, you could just see him just have a very deep, relieved, like breath. So, boys, what can I help you with?
Man, life's good.
We need
we're
some
here
more...
to pick up some I don't know, equipment. You know, you sort of have a ever shifting stock of supplies, but you know, we're doing this thing where we like kill people and save the town, and you know, and things that would contribute.
To be done.
Yeah.
He gets kind of.
So
I lean over his shoulder. You really need to work on your people skills.
He kind of looks around as you mentioned, like killing people. Look, it's been a little rough around here lately.
Do you need to hire us?
We no, quite the opposite.
Okay.
We, for a while, a lot of the Flaming Fist were coming in and trading everything that they had for money. Like I think they were starving. And
wait, they were giving you their stuff for money?
Yes, we were buying it, and they didn't want better weapons or armor or anything. They just wanted gold, and it would seem that it was for food. And over the last couple of days, we've sold out of everything. That's what my sister and I were fighting about, was that we were worried that you were here for more stuff, and we don't have any weapons or armor or anything. The most we have at this point is these last 4 potions that I traded this morning for the most pathetic and small busted buckler that a member of the Flaming Fist just had to have. So whatever is going on with them, it must be big.
They haven't, like, so Flaming Fists have been in and out of town. They're not like causing any problems, are they?
Not here. They're off, in the northeast, just past the Lonely Wood on the way to the glacier. We don't know. I don't get out that way very much. But
Fair enough.
there sure seem to be a lot of them.
Um. Uh. You said you had some potions.
Yeah, just these 4 healing potions. This is really all that we have left right now.
I'll just
I'm
like look at the guys. I'm like, do we need healing potions? You can always use healing potions, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How much are healing potions?
what are they? 50 in the PHP?
I think so.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You said 4?
4 of them. Have to be-
200 gold, good sir.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I'd much rather you boys have these than those flaming fists. I don't know what they're up to. I assume that what you're doing is good and need the revitalization and the health. I worry what would happen with an endless wave of healable flaming fist mercenaries just looming outside of the 10 towns.
Well, I mean, if they haven't caused any problems, that's a good start. And at least it sounds like they're doing trade, even if it's not great trade. Um, I guess just, we're always here if you need us. M- If they cause any problems or if they do anything suspicious, maybe let us know. We're unfortunately leaving to deal with something else, but we'll
I
you know
understood. These are
only be in so many places. at
these are
once.
these are crazy times, and I assume that whatever it is you've set your sights on is probably something important.
You do you have any idea who might know why the Flaming Fists are so far up north?
We don't know. They came a couple of weeks, started trickling in a couple of weeks ago. Originally, when
Is
they came up here, they were arresting fugitives who had come up here to run and to hide in the darkness of the curse. After a couple of weeks, they started roughing up the local barbarian tribes, arresting them,
seen that?
taking them south. And ever since the road to Hundlestone became unpassable, they seem to be growing in numbers as if
teleported
teleported here for something.
What
Okay.
tribe? Were my people included?
What's that?
No, I think they were just
No, the Goliaths.
Goliath tribes.
Good.
Um, yeah, I was gonna say, like, how are their numbers increasing with the path to Icewind Dale being closed? But I guess nobody knows yet. Well, anyways, if you have a convenient way to contact us, if anything should go awry, we would like to know.
I imagine I'll be seeing you boys again. It's the nice thing about having a monopoly in my industry. That
As long as I don't die, you will.
people got to come see us. Even my wretched sister when she's here.
Why do you live with your sister?
Family, we're all we got.
That's fair.
I have a question of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I pull out the water skin that I have that is full of that powder. And then I want to look who has that the rock from the mining thing.
Does everybody got like a little bit? The dust in the water skin is what, like dust from the crystal?
Well, no, I think he picked up some from
Yeah,
the mine
from,
that we
like-
were at.
Yeah, it's from the crystal that they were mining. It's from
Uh.
all that, and I want to ask him what he knows of this. I want to show him the crystal and the powder, and I want to basically explain that I've seen that it's on a bunch of stuff, and they're harvesting it, and to see if he knows why or for what reasons or anything like that.
He pulls out a little jeweler's eyepiece and kind of, rubs it in his hand and a little bit of this. this is that mind control crystal. I'm positive we use it on to enchant necromantic items. This in large enough pieces and big enough quantities can control minds.
Like you can cast a spell on it to control somebody.
It's more that it amplifies like the spell of another. That if somebody was to cast a spell and wearing one of these, it could affect the minds of many and over a great distance. You guys be careful with this stuff. This stuff is dangerous.
So the drow and druid may be working together. The drow getting the crystal for the druid to spread the cold glare.
I was kind of getting the impression that maybe they were working together, or maybe the druid's a drow.
Maybe that is the druid's father that I threw off the cliff.
Yeah, maybe.
Remember when I did that?
I do remember.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
That's fun.
Well, thanks for all your information.
Of course. If you see my sister out there, tell her to get back in here and help me finish these hammers.
I will accost her verbally for you.
Sure.
We don't even know what she looks like. Of course, yes. If we see her, we'll.
She's a dwarf. Other than that, it's dwarf female.
Oh, I know what dwarves look like. No problem. Yeah, I think we're kind of done here. We're just kind of stopping at the most important people's places on our way through towns. Just trying to collect information before we deal with evil.
Whether you flatter me or whether you come by to feed my purse, it is of no concern
it wasn't flattery,
of
just
me.
telling the truth.
I know I'll see you boys again. We're in this together, helping you save Icewind Dale, and our arrangement will continue.
Take too much credit.
You again.
Simmer down.
Whoa,
You filled an order, Amazon. You're not a hero.
Listen, I already gave you a compliment. Let's not. All right. Cool. All right. Well, we'll head out.
Okay.
Unless anyone else wants to do anything else. I don't really think there's anything else about. Like, we could go talk to the priest, but he's not really gonna know anything about any of this. He didn't even know about the blue eyes or any of that stuff when we asked him before. So.
Then out we go.
And he has nothing of value, so.
Poor, stupid vow of poverty, devotion to the Lord.
He's all
loser.
We still have these
Priestly.
navigational charts too.
Navigational charts
Yeah.
from the boat.
Yeah. Like the first one. For Bryn, Shander, and Lonely Wood.
Well, I guess we'll have to look at that another time.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright.
Figure since we were in this area.
To East Haven.
Alright, off to East Haven. This is the longest of the trek. At this point, you have passed clearly into the completely dark stage of the curse. This town appears to be doing very well. There is a line of people kind of outside the speaker's office, just orderly standing in line. And they go into a door. Out that same door comes like a townsperson with like a very large steaming bowl of food, and off kind of to the side there seems to be like a little congregation of townspeople kind of sitting around in the cold, seemingly eating, as you kind of make your way into town.
It's been a long time since we've been here. Um, is the speaker of this town? They weren't an Auror worshiper, were they?
No, they were just kind of like in a
They were kind of just like useless.
in a weakened position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there still a smoldering wreckage where that tavern was burnt down?
Yes. It's not smoldering anymore. But
Well,
there's definitely a big space where there once was a tavern that there is no more. But it does appear as if like all the debris has been cleared, and that it may appear as if construction is about to begin anew.
I guess is there any signs of Auror worship in the town? Probably not, but like no.
It does.
And we left. Is this where we brought the pot of food too?
Yes.
The magic food pot.
The
pot
cauldron.
food?
Yeah.
All right.
Most importantly, the kind of pyre that they had like outside of the town where they burned Dazan with such like vigor does not appear to have been used anytime recently. The pyre is kind of covered in snow, and like at such an amount that it looks like it's been covered with that snow for a while and probably hasn't been lit on fire.
It's just not as satisfying when you find out you burned a simulacrum. All right. I guess like we don't really know. We haven't been here for a long. Maybe we should go check in on the speaker, or we could check in on the fairy family that we saved. Wait, yeah, we saved them.
Those here.
I don't know what information they would have, but maybe somebody here.
They give us something. We still didn't. They didn't thank us.
They owe us.
They owe us a thank you.
That's what this is, huh? Going around collecting favors.
Yeah. Hey,
right.
time to pay
It's our
up.
collection tour.
Yeah, give us something or we'll burn your house down.
You know, protection ain't free. We saved your life, but you owe us a little something, you know?
Yeah.
A very dignified business.
Yeah, I want to find the speaker, and maybe they know if Trollsbane's been in town.
Okay.
This is kind of where we saw him second to last.
Yes. He left here to head to Targos where that whole thing happened. So, as you kind of peer around the speaker's office, everybody kind of, you hear them mention Speaker Wayland. And if you were to inquire about any of the people eating, if they had seen him, they all kind of point into the door where the line leads to. He's in there serving food.
Serving
That's
magic
good.
cauldron food.
I'm that soup.
Does Harple have a house in this town? Is this where she lives?
Did she live here?
I don't know if we actually ever seen her house, but this is the first time we met her.
This is where you met her. She does not have
okay.
like a home.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, she just kind of she's a wizard.
Okay. I guess I'll just sort of like make our presence known. I'll be like, oh shit, we still don't have a name. I'll be like, undecided name. I'll just be like, hey, we're well, look at us. Come on, like,
yeah,
somebody
it's not
notice
good.
us, right?
Not good to identify yourselves.
I'm like, we're just hoping to speak to Speaker Harple. Like, I'm not budging in line. I'm just kind of speaking loudly.
Inside, you see him kind of, serving food to his people, like like the manner of a soup kitchen, and he catches your eye, and look, everybody, it's
weird group of people waving outside.
It's the adventurers responsible for us having hot meals and the unity of a peaceful town. And all the people in line kind of turn around and begin to cheer
No, great.
Again. People, Jesus, all right. And yeah, there's a kind of standing ovation. The people towards the back of the line, nowhere near the front where they're being served, pat you on the back and try to shake your hand or give respectful bows, or at least try not to get bitten by Jaatuuli.
Just like anyone near me, I'm like, look, we don't need or deserve this. The people we've killed, and under my breath a little bit.
I thought you hard. Quiet.
A
Sorry.
lot of confessing. What can I do for you? It's so great to see you again after everything you've done for us.
Soup.
Of course, no problem. And he quick bangs out 4 bowls and beckons one of the guards to bring them over to you, and hands everybody like a bowl. Very careful handing it to Orryn. It's kind of big, relatively. It's probably heavy. Just be careful with that. Do you want me to take some of it out so it's not as heavy? You'll be fine.
I'm such a pessimist. Is the soup still the same soup that we had the first time we had this?
It's the magically enchanted soup that never runs out.
But is it like a tomato bisque now, or is it like a
It's a brown
or is
stew.
it still just it's still just stew?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a cream of
Is
kale.
it casual, just a slight sense of
Now that we have soup, the important part of our journey is over.
Oh right, campaign complete.
My personal arc was getting this bowl of soup. Character arc achieved. Nailed
Yeah,
it.
achievements.
What do you want to achieve in your
Juli's
character?
backstory unlocked.
I want to get level 5 and I want to get some soup. Done.
Yeah, retire. I live here now.
Wait, if we eat the soup, we feel better, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm having some soup too.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on. I gotta add this to everybody who
Isn't
did.
it like a D4 or D6 or something?
I'll take it. Yeah, it's a D4 to attack and ability checks.
Oh wow.
As well as a mysterious boon from the little thimble of
a mystery bin.
of Forgotten Realms.
But how long does that last?
Jaeger.
Probably not long, right? I'm going to. Okay, yes. Thanks for the soup. We'll give him some time to serve the people, and we'll eat our soup. And then when he's not too busy, I'll get his attention and just be like, "We're here because we're doing our thing, taking care of problems that exist in Icewind Dale, trying to make things better. And we're gonna investigate the Aurora to the southeastish area. That we were told that there's maybe a dwarven fortress, that there was a Blackstone tower, that there's something. Would anyone in town know about this? This being the closest town to that area, is there anyone that might be able to point us in the right direction or tell us anything about it?
We don't know a lot about dwarves. Unfortunately, we know about those.
See, dwarf.
We do know about drow, and
well, that helps.
We know that they've been coming into town and stealing supplies to help them make their way through up to a mountain.
That whole race of people.
Ropes have gone missing, snowshoes, all kinds of things, and our people here can barely muster the ability to survive the environment, much less decide to go hiking into the mountains. And after what they did to the fairy family, we recognize drow when they make their way into the village.
Interesting. Do they come from the south?
They they've been around for weeks. Ever since before the fairy family got taken, they were milling about the docks, and even after you dealt with them, they're still around. This is the closest settlement to anything in the mountains, and their last stop. So any drow in Icewind Dale is probably going to come through here on their way up to the mountain.
We will kill them.
I mean, on the bright side, we haven't run into any female drow. I heard they're mean.
Spider worshipping
I heard
witches.
they're hot.
Whoa! Whoa!
Sorry, did I say that out
Baldr?
loud?
How you feeling? Wow. Okay, well, I guess, I mean, drow kind of leads us in the right direction, so, have they attacked anybody, or are they just, like, stealing and...
They ambushed a wagon that we had coming from Bryn Shander with some supplies, and they burned a wagon that we had coming from the south with wood for fires in town.
Well... Okay,
Kill them.
yeah,
All of them.
Oh, is Trollsbane in town? Or have you seen or heard of Trollsbane?
I know Trollsbane. We haven't seen him. He came through here a little while ago. Said he was about to head north, looking for Fulin Harple for whatever good that's going to do.
Always in the wrong direction. Okay. If Trollsbane happens by, can you let him know that to like... Oh, what should we say? I don't know, like...
Go home.
Damn! Tell him that we're looking for him, and if he could, you know, maybe head back to Targos until we meet him again, and maybe to not worry too much about Vulin Harple, we have some information. Yes, there we go. Oh, man, I'm so good at this.
Like literally patting yourself on the back. You're like, nailed it. Yeah.
I look at him and I was like, go home.
No, that's rude.
I'll
We
let
wouldn't
him-
want to be rude.
I'll let him know. I imagine
yeah.
he's probably looking for you too, in between chasing this wizard all over creation.
Yeah, this, yeah, I mean, at least for the time being, I don't think she's a concern, though apparently he does. But we could definitely use the opportunity to exchange information and make sure that he's safe.
Okay.
Yeah, wait, what's it called? The Swollen Puppy? What's the name of the tavern in this town? Not the one that burnt down,
Which one?
obviously.
Which town are we in? Hold on.
We're in
Which
East
town are
Haven,
we in?
and
The White Lady Inn is the one here. That's the
White
one.
Lady or the Wet Trout?
The Wet Trout's the one that caught fire. The
Oh,
the White
okay.
Lady is the one
the
we
Wet
do
Trout is
business
such
in.
it's such a
yeah,
it's a
and
better
the White
name.
Lady's the one where you met the
The halflings
with the seance.
Yep.
the troublemakers.
Ronaldo.
Do we want to rest here for the night before we start our trek to the mountains, or do we want to just
Long of a
mush?
journey.
Sorry?
4 hours that we've been traveling.
Yeah, it's only like 3 or 4 probably.
Yeah, probably 5, 6 in the evening.
We can still go to Hundlestone because we can.
No,
still
we
gotta
can't
go
get to
that way.
Hundlestone. The pass is
Hundlestone's
blocked.
far.
Yeah, Hundlestone's like multi-day journey, and we couldn't get there anyways because the mountains.
The mountain pass.
The mountain passes are blocked because of the winter.
All right.
Yeah.
Then I guess that's the only. Yeah, is to start our trek out of town. Make sure we got enough supplies to get it, like food and like cold weather shit.
Yeah.
Cold weather shit.
Cold weather shit.
Kessel took.
I'm,
I was gonna say,
I mean,
Kessel
y'all
took.
need clothes. I don't need
Kessel
clothes.
Kessel took care of that on the wagon ride.
Yeah. We have warm clothes.
Yeah,
Or warm loincloth.
as the case may be.
Uh, um, don't forget, I bought a healing potion for everyone. Don't forget to add that to your inventory. They're good for emergency or if we run out of healing spells or something, but they're not like super amazing. I'm good to go. I mean, I haven't really used any spells today, so I could ritually cast my augury spell to see if it's a good idea for us to go tonight.
Okay. Ooh. All right, hold on. Let me look up so I get the words right.
So it'll take me 10 minutes because I'm trying to cast it without using a spell slot. And I pull out my giant knuckle bones, my tokens, and I cast my spell, and then I cast the bones into the snow.
You're just like doing this in the street.
Yep.
Gem inlaid stitch.
Well, I guess technically right now we're in like a soup kitchen.
I thought we were, yeah, I was supposed to say, did we go outside for you to do this? And I was like,
Like,
why didn't we stay inside for
Show
this?
off.
All right, so
on the soup kitchen counter.
if the question is a course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes, within the next 30 minutes, you plan to depart the mount.
Towards the mountains, and basically, does my god think that this is one of those options?
It would be wheel and woe.
Okay. I convey that to the group. I'm like, well, the bones say that it's both good and bad to go. I guess that just kind of implies that like going is good because it leads to our goal, but it's also bad because there's probably danger ahead. So it's hard to like, read the gods. But
Stupid, ambiguous, divine
especially since
beings.
I don't even know who he is or she.
Wonderful insight. Wonderful insight.
They
Stupid divine beings.
have told me that, and I show you guys my giant bone tokens, and it just looks like a bunch of giant bone tokens on the table, and I'm like trying to tell you what that means. I'm like, look, you can see that these
guys,
two
look at
pointing
this.
way means, hey, that's a good idea, but these two, they're touching, that's not good.
All right, man, whatever, dog.
Yeah, exactly. That is literally what augury is. It's like, okay.
All right, man, if you say so. I'm not calling you a liar. I just, whatever. Perpendicular
I love
chicken
this
bones
spell.
are
It's
not
great.
Guess
not
you gotta
beacons of woe.
believe.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's good.
Guess you gotta believe, man.
I mean, this is kind of one of the best results, because if it had just been bad, then maybe that meant we were missing something, or that there was something else we should do,
We ain't
or that
going,
there was
y'all.
imminent danger. But if it's both good and bad, that's kind of what we expect. We want to get into a rough and tumble, and that's probably what's going to happen.
I thought it was also based on like whether it's good for the god, not like for us.
That's true. That can
like
influence.
it's based on what's
Receive
good
an
for them.
omen from another world
not
entity about the specific results that you plan to take with the gym. Spells
Yeah,
taken
so
into
it's
account
it's
may
kind of from
change
their
the
perspective
outcome.
to some degree. Yes.
Yeah, it could be like, yo, I might lose a follower, I might gain a follower. Like, it's
Maybe they want me to do it because 100 years from now, they will find my corpse and be like, that was the one true follower of our religion, and then I start a new religion or something. Who knows?
So yeah.
this is the
usually
guy that spread the
augury is-
word.
Augury is a very short term thing, so usually it's about like what you're about to do,
Okay.
kind of.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I'm gonna
that's
stick
what
with
we got.
I'm gonna stick with my answer then.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Okay. You guys
I
gonna
cannot. I have other divination spells, but I don't have the appropriate spell components to cast them.
Ugh.
Like, I'm looking. Like, I could cast clairvoyancy and try and look into the tower again, but I don't have the necessary. I need a focus worth at least 100 gold pieces and then I would need a jewel horn for hearing, or I need a glass eye for seeing. And then if I wanted to hear and see, I would need both, so that's 200 gold pieces. And and I can only do one at a time. So if I want to listen to what's going on, I can't see what's happening, and if I want to see what's going on, I can't hear what's happening.
That's gonna sound
I
awesome.
look to Orryn.
Divination.
I'll look to Orryn. And say, can't we just stick some earrings on that ear we have?
Oh yeah, you have your ear thing.
Yeah, we do have the ear.
We just a jeweler. Was like, hey man, can you like stud this
dang.
for me?
For a split second, I really dumbly thought we could cast Speak with Dead on the ear, but it doesn't have a mouth, so
Yeah, that'd be hard then.
yeah, it just kind of like squirms and wiggles.
I mean, Jewel, does it say like? Because technically, it like it allows hearing, so technically, it's like horn.
Human horn.
Fry's lower horn. Just like at the movies.
You pulled it out.
I think we're done here then.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I relay that to the group. I'm like, I'm good to go. If we leave now, we might have to rest before we get there. I don't know how long the journey is going to take because we don't really know how treacherous it's going to be. But I got a medium sign about it.
I got a feeling we're gonna be camping in the woods at some point.
It's true. It's what happens to us every time.
As you step out from this soup kitchen, as it were, to like the outside, having looked at the maps since you got them, stepping out of the door, the map just kind of clicks. It goes from a very abstract kind of thing that you can notice from your perspective looking out into the mountains, that some of the kind of landmarks and kind of distinguished features of the map can be seen from where you are, and also basically directly in front of you as you step out, but super high in the sky above the cloud line. You see the aurora that has poked back out, as it's now probably 6, 7 in the evening. For Icewind Dale, it might as well be the middle of the night, and the aurora can be seen, slightly obscured by clouds so high in the sky up the mountain it's located that it's even above, like I said, the cloud line. So it's just kind of this odd neon green and blue kind of refracting through the clouds in the distance.
Okay. I mean, I guess it gives us a vague direction to head in. So we'll kind of head in the centralized direction of that. But if our maps are kind of lining up, I'm like holding it at like a 75 degrees. I'm like, see, that's kind of like that looks like that mountain. And I'm like, is there like a path? Like, is there a path on the map that we could like potentially follow?
It's more that like there are like the maps and kind of mountain peaks, and then there are spaces in between like the mountains where you could make your way up the mountain, and those seem to be pretty noted. There's a couple of marks of like trees that tell you to stay to like one side of them, and that kind of thing. If you've ever like looked at like a ski slope or a ski resort, you can kind of figure out how they're kind of oriented against like mountain peaks and stuff, and it's basically the same idea.
Yeah. My many years living in, my periods of time living in the wild, I have a decent survival. I can try and lead the way, unless you're familiar with the area.
I am really good with maps, and survival is one of my things.
I'll hand the map to Jaatuuli, and I'll just be like, lead the way. We'll figure it out.
Commit the map to memory.
After you set off, heading basically due south for the base of the spine of the World Mountains, and after about 4 hours of travel, the kind of paths on the map start to become a little clearer, a little more focused. some of the more obscure kind of notes on the map start to kind of make sense. You can see what they're referencing. And once again, you stand at the base of the Spine of the World Mountains, this time from the cursed side of the range. Since your time in Icewind Dale, an aurora of blues and greens has been able to be seen. Now with your head tilted towards the darkened sky, you realize that it comes from just above the cloud line on the other side of the peak that rises past them. Around the rocks, at the base of the mountain, you see what looks like a base camp, and one that seems proportionally larger than most of them. The rocks gathered around the fire pit seem larger. The kind of tracks in the snow seem larger. The bones of the dead animal nearby where the fire once burned seem larger than a party of typical sized humanoids would require.
Is this a is it lit? Are there people here? Or
It's
no,
not lit.
Abandoned.
It's abandoned. It's been
Okay.
used relatively recently. It hasn't snowed in a couple of days, so there are very clearly paths kind of stamped around the fire rocks, and a path that leads up the mountain.
Oh, time to take the path. It
Okay.
overlooked the mountain. I didn't look up the mountain, so.
Okay. At this point, it's probably 9-10 o'clock after all of your travel to, essentially base camp.
We can use this base camp.
Yeah, there's like a little, just, almost like the one on the way to Jaatuli's village. There's like a little kind of outcropping of rock that people kind of take shelter in if the weather's bad. This little fire pit circle seems to be intact. And then, like I said, there seems to be a body of looks like a moose, not your moose, but a moose, left over, picked clean by whatever was here previous to you guys.
We should camp here.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
We probably want to set up like a watch, though.
Okay.
Jaatuuli goes first.
How many people do we need to watch?
At least 3.
At least 3.
One
Who
at a
doesn't
time.
want to watch?
Who's not observant? Who's terrible?
I have a pretty good perception, so I use.
Orryn probably has the
half-elven
worst.
Okay.
At +0.
Oh, wow. Orryn does not need to take watch.
Okay.
He's busy tinkering, anyways.
And then
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a 0. He's always fuddling with stuff.
not paying
Yeah,
attention. All right. So do you want to go Jaatuuli, Kelroth, Baldr in that order?
Sure.
Okay.
Orryn needs a decent amount of rest, so put him at the end.
Okay. All right. So we're actually going to take a break real quick, like 5 minutes before we set about their watch. It is 9:10 p.m. We'll come back from a 5-minute break, finish up, and leave hopefully on a pretty dope cliffhanger, ideally. So like I said, 9:10. We will be back in 5 minutes after a quick break. And we hope everybody sticks around for the conclusion to this amazing episode. We will see you guys in 5.
All right.
All right, we are back. The party will be waking up from their long rest. They're going to start their watch for their long rest. Everybody's, I guess, going to go to sleep. Jaatuuli will be the first to watch. Are you going to have are you going to let the fire burn, or like kind of snuff it out as everybody goes to sleep?
I'm gonna sit Indian style and stare at it and just listen instead of look.
The fire was lit when we got here?
No,
or was like
just
smoldering?
it had been used recently.
It was easy to relight, no doubt.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, I don't think we need to light it, so that's fine.
All right, Jaatuuli, give me a perception check for your watch in the night.
Night watch. Maybe we should have let the little guy have that one. Perception. Well, 11, not bad.
Okay.
I'm at +5, so that's a shitty roll.
All right, so 11's what you got.
Yeah.
Throughout the night, your kind of peripheral vision notices like movement. You, for the first time since leaving Lonelywood, are starting to see what you think are blue eyes. Could be, reflection from the aurora, could be a bunch of things. But for the first time, you start to feel like you are surrounded by the haunting, icy stare of God knows what. Every once in a while, you'll see them kind of open up and then close again. And they're just kind of ever moving, like about the camp, but from a pretty good distance.
All right. I'll stay vigilant and keep awake and keep pacing around the camp.
Okay. After a couple of hours, your watch has, expired, or your time has expired. And what? Kelroth's next?
Yeah, I tag him like a tag team.
Blind tag?
Oh!
Blind tag?
Yeah. Slap him up.
Blind tag while he's
Drags
asleep.
him up out of his sleeping bag. Just wake up.
All right.
Okay.
Kelroth, go ahead and give me your perception check for your watch.
What the? Come on! I'm only rolling 2s. I got a 10.
Okay. As you sit there, you think, but are not sure, that you hear the howling of wolves, the occasional laughter of like a person, and also the unsure feeling that there might be sets of blue eyes out in the darkness watching you throughout the duration of your watch.
Okay.
That's creepy as hell.
All right.
That's hell.
I should have cast a spell on myself. Something. That's stupid. All I've done is roll 2s today. Anyways, I'm paying attention. That's all.
All right. You're going to intermittently see the kind of random belief that there, like I said, there could be blue eyes. You're not really sure. Your watch is going to kind of come and go. Nothing happens other than this kind of unsure feeling of potential dread because you don't feel like you saw everything that's out there.
Yeah, well, I see it, but we're used to this kind of by now. I'm uneased, but I'm also like, it's starting to settle in. Like,
Blue eyes in the dark, whatevs.
every time we get out here, something wants to eat us, and we end up eating it. So
All right.
there's maybe a little bit of overconfidence.
Okay. Your watch is going to come to an end, and Baldr, what? You only need like 4 hours of sleep, right? Okay.
Meditate. I only need to meditate, so I
Okay.
go into like a little trance.
Okay.
And
So you're gonna take a slightly longer watch than everybody else, as your rest requirements aren't the same as everybody's. And as Kelroth kind of settles off into sleep, let me get a perception check from you, please.
all right. Ha! I got Kelroth's bad juju. That is.
You'll have trouble focusing tonight.
Yeah. Perception. That's a 6.
Ooh. You hear all kinds of things in like the course of the first part of your watch. Every little thing seems to move. Every little kind of slight bit of motion grabs your attention. You more or less spend like the first part of your watch just looking all around, unable to get like a beat on anything. You too think you see the blue eyes, the familiar blue eyes, off in various parts of the darkness throughout the first part of your watch. And you also believe you hear like the cackling of an animal. The same kind of way that a hyena might laugh or cackle.
Alright.
And then after a little while, that everything starts to calm down. And go ahead and give me another perception check.
Alright. Before I do this one, I am going to activate my guidance from the past.
Okay.
And I have advantage on all wisdom checks and
Okay.
saving throws, so I can at least roll this with one with advantage.
11.
Activated his trap card.
You see me just like power up for this one. Just
Focus, Baldr. Focus.
Use that trap card against that blue eyes.
You got this. Don't
Hyping yourself up. You're your own hype man.
Oh, nice. That is an 18 and a 19. Alright, so that is a 23 all day.
You kind of regain your focus. The kind of background noise seems to disappear, and you are finally able to kind of focus. And you do notice that there are absolutely multiple sets of blue eyes, not kind of traveling and moving about, but almost absolutely fixed on you and the party and this base camp. You absolutely hear two sets of laughter, a kind of high-pitched cackle, as well as a really deep, ominous kind of laugh.
Hate this.
Still, through the night, nothing gets closer than a couple of 100 feet off in the distance, in the darkness. And eventually, the day kind of begins, and nature seems to kind of go back about its, normal routine. You start to see larger creatures, begin to go out and forage for, food. A couple of Arctic foxes, things like that. That kind of lets you know that morning has once again come, and everybody's going to, kind of start to wake up with Baldr ever fixated on things that he saw in the morning. So everybody can, kind of wake up. You made it through the night.
Okay.
Oh, right. Ooh-ah.
Jaatuuli slept like shit.
Oh, sorry.
I kept hearing noises. I wasn't sure if it was real.
I heard
We're
like
being
a little bit of
watched last
laughter.
night.
What was that, Baldr?
We were being watched last night. I don't know what you saw on your watch, but we most certainly are being watched. Followed.
I
I feel we might
yeah.
run into someone that this druid knows or employs.
Good. I will split them in half.
I feel like they've kind of always, or this guy has always kind of like been keeping tabs on us because we've kind of run into blue-eyed things every time we've left, at least for the last while. So now that we're heading towards him, it only makes sense that we'd be seen eventually. We're not exactly, a rogue, a ranger, a mage with invisibility. We're kind of the opposite of that.
I totally got like the anime vibe, like the fucking like off in the distance, like really fuzzy. You just see like an outline of a person, and then like like you hear the laughing, and then like you hear the boss like laughing in the background, and then like the other like just the other figure just like disappears, and like you hear the laughing just like in the just like like just like totally like you're now you'll meet my lieutenant.
All right. Well, let's continue on the path and see if we can find the tower or an entrance or a cave or something.
You set about following this, path cut through the snow made by some group of individuals prior to you. The footsteps are large and quite spaced far apart, and it looks like a single file line. It matches more or less kind of the drawings on the maps that you have. And for 2 full days and nights resting at similar kind of setups to what you did at the base of the mountain, where it appeared that whatever tracks you are following that also coincide with the route on the map seems to have stopped here at the same time in these kind of regular intervals. You spend the nights, watch just as you did, and every single night the people on the watch experience to varying degrees the same thing. The kind of creeping silence, the blue eyes in the distance, and the 2 different types of laugh. And on the 3rd day, as you really begin to make progress towards the cloud line, and as the aurora becomes ever so brighter from the distance that you are, plus being diffused through the clouds, it's pretty easy to track your progress. And you come up on this one kind of last little ridge, almost probably about 10 feet high. Not anything you need to scale, but just kind of a little treacherous walk up the top. Right before you reach the line of clouds in the relatively early morning on the 3rd day, you once again hear 2 bits of laughing. Half of it a kind of animal-like hyena cackle, and another part of it that sounds slightly more humanoid. Can I get a marching order, please?
Orryn is fine being either in the front or back, whether it's the flank or the leads.
Okay.
I'm going first.
I'll be somewhere in the middle.
Okay. Baldr, you want to be...
Guess I'll be behind Kelroth and in front of Orryn.
Okay, cool. As Jaatuuli kind of comes up on the ridge, the laughing kind of intensifies. You can hear 2 wolves howl very close by. And in the darkness, you start to see like these 2 clouds of breath kind of peek over the ridge. A little blue kind of ambient glow coming over from the top. And 2 voices. One of them. After the giants, our father knew you would be here soon enough. May we notice your friend Vulin Harple has not made the journey.
She is weak. She is a magic person, no person of strength like we are.
Hey.
I would be careful cursing the name of magic in all of its forms, for the arcane and the manipulation of nature are perverse. The divine is from the gods of which we derive.
Can we see this person? How far away are they?
They are, like, if you're looking up, and then it kind of flattens off, they're back from what you can see. They're about 10 feet above you, along the ridge. Yeah, just out of your view, just kind of pushed back on the...
So we can't see, like, an individual or anything?
You can't. You can see, like I said, kind of a glowing, like a radiant little blue glow from above, as well as, like, 2 kind of breath clouds, exhaling in the cold air. But that's it.
Okay.
Should I jump up there?
Yeah, you should jump up there. That's good. Yes. Oh, we're so scared of magic, and get him!
I jump up and kind of scrabble with my feet to gain purchase and, like, try to grab my hands over the ridge.
Oh, Baldr, can you, like, run up walls or anything?
If it's only 10 feet, I'm 7 feet, so I only need to get a
Not
couple.
yet, but I can jump. If I need to, I can vertically leap that.
Oh my god, we're gonna like Marvel's Avengers up there. Okay. Like, everyone's just like, Waja!
Anyone else could just get my tail and hoist themselves up.
Okay. So everybody's...
That's what Orryn will have to do. So. Just grab the tail.
I'm going to grab on. So as everybody kind of makes their way up, the voices have that...
Oh, shit!
have that kind of half cackle, half animal laugh. And as everybody kind of clears over the ledge that they were beneath, 2 absolutely giant winter wolves with blue eyes kind of steps slowly towards you. See him on stream. They look.
I mean, they look big with that Orryn-sized adventurer, but
I mean, also the distance, it's still pretty big. They look at each other. Their, blue glowing eyes, and they step back. We'll actually take care of you ourselves, and not even let what's up ahead have all the fun like we did with those savages.
what are these wolves talking to us?
Think so.
What
Looks
the
like-
hell?
As they finish their sentence and everybody's kind of confused, the wolves look at each other once again, kind of step back and like suddenly become like very rigid and stiff and almost look like they're struggling. You see kind of these big movements underneath their skin as they go from
Ew.
4 legs to standing as their muscles and body kind of reconfigures itself. And as the white fur parts from their face, it just leaves long flowing white hair. And the 2 wolves transform into 2 drow, dressed in leather, carrying staffs kind of adorned in furs. And I'm going to need everybody to roll for initiative, please.
Druid drow?
Oh, that's dope.
DDs? They're DDs.
Hey, I got a good roll.
Let's see how I do.
Knock on wood.
Oh, come on.
Ooh.
I get my good roll now.
Oh, you did good, huh?
Yes.
I rolled him. I got an 8.
You were not paying attention. You were like, hey, there's wolves? What?
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I'm like, holy shit.
Anybody get above 20?
No.
Okay. 20 to 15.
16.
19.
Wow, Kelroth beat me.
Yeah, wow, dude.
I
16.
know,
Good for you. You just can't wait for
That's
this.
because I was like, charge.
All right, Jaatuuli, what'd you get?
18?
Okay.
Wait, no, I didn't beat you.
Yeah.
I got a 16.
Oh, I thought you said 19.
No,
Baldr
that
got
was
19.
Okay,
All
well,
right,
I-
and then... All right, everything's right with the world. So these 2 beings that just unbelievably massive, and they were wolves, and you weren't sure if they were speaking, have now transformed into 2 dark elves standing before you, kind of adorned in wolves, like furs and the such. Like if they were a furry, they'd be like wolf theme light in their kind of everyday appearance. They, even after they
We don't talk about that here.
they're transformed and they kind of get right and watch their heads kind of snap into place. They both kind of look at you and smile. Father will be very pleased with what we are about to do here.
You're threatening us by getting smaller.
that's what I was. Like, you just shrunk down. Those are intimidating wolves.
I know, we were scared a second ago, but we'll kill you.
So
I mean,
what
I
you're
won't.
telling me is you burned up
Get
one of
him.
your transformations to talk to us in human form.
It's
And
about
you're gonna
it's about the
burn
dramatic reveal, fuckers.
up your last.
It's about the dramatic reveal, not the combat tactics.
I know. Big things aren't necessarily always scary.
Like, that's just one of those things I find hilarious.
That's
It's
just
like,
how
why
our
would
group
you do
treats
that?
things.
Because Daddy needs to.
It
Daddy
would have
needs
been
his.
scary if they
Daddy
transformed
needs his
into
dramatic
moose.
reveal.
Yeah.
The first druid, after looking at its almost exact sibling, is going to kind of begin to make motions with its hands, and the snow underneath you is going to kind of melt and freeze again into all these jagged kind of objects for everybody to begin kind of be trapped in. I need everybody to make
Dex.
I need everybody to make a strength saving throw, actually.
Oh, dope.
Oh, okay.
24.
Okay.
17.
All right. Orryn, you're kind of quiet down there, buddy.
Orryn made a very good roll. I just, I choose not to say it. It was a mod. I rolled a mod. I failed whatever.
I didn't do too much. I didn't do too much
failed.
better than Orryn. I got a 13.
Okay. So, as the ice kind of comes up, Kelroth and Jaatuuli are going to be able to kind of kick their legs free and keep from being trapped. Orryn and Baldr are now going to be restrained by these kind of cuffs of ice trapping their feet stationary. The other druid is going to kind of wind up and take a big clap of his hands. I'm going to need everybody to make a con save, please.
They're cheating.
Conventional save, huh? Which is
I mean, okay, if you say so.
24.
Sometimes D&D Beyond screws me. I'm like, that is totally on. It was like balancing on an edge.
Your random number generator.
Two different numbers, and it gave me the bad number.
Don't give me hope. Just give me a stupid number.
Bullshit.
Okay, Orryn, what'd you get?
24.
Definitely good. Jaatuuli.
Holy shit. 19.
Good. Baldr.
Ships.
You're not far off. That's a 5.
Okay.
Oh,
I got an 8.
I can't even roll
Okay.
a 5. It would be impossible for me to get a 5.
But I also call cheating. D&D Beyond screwed me. That dice was not landed on a 4.
Okay. Here's where things are going to get weird.
I'm dead. You guys are screwed.
All right. All right.
I will eat you.
Well, no, Baldr will be fine. He'll do like gymnastics and land on his feet.
Baldr and Kelroth are going to take what the hell go? 5 thunder damage.
I'm dead.
Jaatuuli and Orryn are going to take 2 thunder damage.
Son of a bitch.
You're dead.
As part
You're not very good at this game.
as part of Thunder Wave, the second spell, everybody who failed and was not restrained by ice previously is going to be pushed back 10 feet off of the ledge.
I think that you should go and let them push us away so that we're unrestrained.
Everybody who is
You just get knocked prone.
everybody who's restrained is now no longer restrained. Kelroth's going to have fallen off the ledge and taken 9 more bludgeoning damage.
I'm like, as I fall off the cliff, I'm like, screw you, I'm the pacifist. Though.
I'm glad I failed my save.
Okay,
Joke's on you. I'm into this shit.
Am I falling?
You have fallen back to where you were.
10 feet.
Yeah, when you heard the voices.
Didn't even give me an opportunity to cast my new spell. Jeez.
All right, so that is going to be both drow. It is now Baldr's turn. You are now unrestrained from failing the thing because you got smacked with the ice thing. Or with the thunder wave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So I will stand up and am I within 20 feet of either one of the drow?
I would say yes.
Alright, well then I'm going to move in and make my 2 attacks.
Okay.
Plug in.
Do you want to hit the first one that messed with the ground or the second one that knocked Baldr off the cliff?
Hey, me.
Well,
Knocked Kelroth off the cliff.
I guess I'll go with, the one that knocked Kelroth off the ledge.
Okay.
And hold on, let me look at something real quick. So. Um. So a 19 to hit for one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a. What's that? A 16 to hit for the other one.
Yeah, both of them.
All right. The second one that is going to hit is also going to be a stunning strike. So he's going to need to make a con save for me.
Yeah.
19.
With a. He's going to pass that.
Okay.
Balls.
He won't be stunned, but he's still taking damage. So.
I'm hyped up.
Oh yeah, extra attacks. 3rd level spells for Kelroth.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. So that is 11 points for one hit.
Okay.
And 7 points for another hit.
Okay.
And then I'm going to spend another key point and flurry of blows and attack 2 more times.
All right.
Doing monk shit.
Going high in initiative and smacking the fuck out of things a ton.
That is a.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a yeah.
That's a 13 to hit for one and a natural 20 on the next one.
Yeah, the second one will hit, first one won't.
All right. So that is. Ooh, nice. 20 points of damage
Holy shit.
for the hit
Okay.
with my fist.
Go ahead and tell me how you dispatch of this drow that was once a wolf, like a brief moment ago.
You just kind of see me zigzag, multi-step in towards this drow, and then it is just kind of like Fist of the North Star, as you see me just kind of like all blows to the chest, and then the last blow, I just like come up and like punch
And he's just like,
as you see me kind of like reel back, you see that there's an actual hole where I punched, and there's now a like cavity in the drow's chest.
you have to say, Omae wa mo shinderu.
Omae wa moshinde.
Nani?
So, steaming hole in its chest, it's going to collapse in to the snow, and as it does, it's clearly dead. It's the glow from its eyes is going to kind of envelop its whole body, and as it does, it's going to slowly kind of cover the body and then turn into little beams of light that are going to then shoot over to the other drow, hit them in the eyes, and they're just going to kind of, absorb,
Power up.
absorb a little bit of power. And it is going to be Jaatuli's turn.
All right. Jaatuuli steps forward and swings the. Oh, before that, he rages out. And steps forward and swings the axe. Oh my god. 25 for the first one.
Okay.
And math. I hate math. 22 for the second one.
Yes.
So 2 hits. All right. Let's see, 9. So 16 from the first one.
Okay.
13 from the second one.
All right, go ahead and tell me how you dispatch of this drow with your badass axe.
Just right down the center, and it splits the head. It's stuck in his neck, and I kind of yank it out.
As you strike down, splitting its head like a melon, the blue glowing eyes kind of flicker for a moment before the glow kind of comes out of its regular eyes and flies up off through the clouds into the night sky as the kind of lifeless shell falls into the snow. And as it does, you notice that between the two now drow corpse, upon like kind of being left, the blue glow, their essence kind of leaving, they become these kind of withered, hard, like husks, and not just like a regular, drow corpse that kind of lay in the snow. Like all kind of gnarled in on itself.
Like instant mummify.
Almost. Just kind of shriveled and a lot smaller than you would expect of a body that just kind of fell just a moment ago. Yeah.
Ew.
Is there anything on the corpse and the one at my feet?
Some little bits of the black crystal, as well as like an amulet with it in it as well.
An amulet, is it made of the crystal?
It's made of like a platinum, but it definitely has a bit of the crystal set into it.
But you said it's platinum?
The metal part of it is, but there's, like I said, there's definitely the crystal in it. The ones you saw on like the people at Jaatuli's village were much more like kind of rudimentary, just a means of getting the rock onto somebody. This looks like the same thing but more ornate, like it would be given to somebody, in a better esteem than just here, put this rock on.
Okay.
This is if you want to floss with your rock.
Yeah.
It's your chain. Chain gang.
Yeah, I guess I'll take it.
Okay.
If anything, I can melt it down. I'm not gonna wear it or anything like that, so it's just gonna go. Yeah.
Okay. You pick it up. It's very cold to the touch. Even this high in the mountains, and being in Icewind Dale, it still feels cold to the touch, as I guess you kind of put it in your pouch. Up above you, the aurora seems to have faded, and the clouds kind of have almost a like brilliant white kind of shine to them as the large tracks and path you have been following continue up through this ridge, and within about 40 feet in front of you will disappear up through a very clear line of clouds into the super high elevations of the Spine of the World Mountains.
I'm still on the ground, on the level below.
That's right. We'd
Before anyone comes over, I'm gonna kind of like grunt. I'm in a lot more pain than would seem, even though I only fell like a couple of feet. My old injury kind of like acts up again, and I'm like holding my chest, and my back hurts a lot. And before anyone sees me, I'm going to drink a potion of healing. Sort of in a mildly panicked state. Let's see. I'm going to.
I Like one of those old guys searching for his pills.
Yeah, a little bit. I heal myself for 8 hit points,
Okay.
and um, I'm gonna slowly pull myself to my feet.
Okay.
Once you're
Yeah.
on your feet, my lizard face pops over the edge of the rock, and I go, "Come on, Kelroth, quit fucking around!" And I put my
I'm
hand.
like, I could have died. You don't know how far I fell. As I'm reaching my hand up for him to pull me up.
I can see you. That's how far you fell.
I heard you hit.
Yeah, lift me up.
Yank him up the side of there.
I'm sure he has the strength to lift me up.
Oh, yeah.
As Kelroth is kind of lifted back up and joins the party, the deep laughter that you may have heard in the previous nights anywhere near the mountain can be heard again, almost directly at the path as it disappears into the clouds.
From where we are now that we're all here, is there a path or like a structure or anything of note in the area that I can see?
There's, like I said, basically the same kind of path you've been following for 3 days since the very base camp at the bottom of the mountain continues about 40 feet in front of you and then up like an incline that disappears into the cloud cover.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of like just ponder out loud a little bit. I'm gonna be like, most adventuring groups, they would like, sneak and be smart, but there's something like intimidating / like cool about us just charging forward. They know we're here and we're coming. Eh?
Yes, we are cool.
I'm gonna be like, well, I think we should march on. I hope it doesn't take that much longer to find this place.
I would think it will take some while.
As you make your way up, we gonna stick to the same marching order?
Oh yeah.
Okay. As you continue the path up in your marching orders, Jaatuuli going first, kind of reaching, like I said, this path that kind of curves as it goes upward, and for whatever reason, there seems to be like just a very definitive line of the clouds, and so you're going to walk up, kind of follow the path. At some point, the cloud gets very dense that it's even hard to see your own feet. And as you kind of come through the clouds, your eyes burn in a way they haven't in quite some time. Your head and shoulders have this odd kind of burning sensation about them. And for 5-6 minutes, you're going to continue through this cloud cover.
Is that just Jaatuuli?
It's everybody as you make your way through the clouds. And as Jaatuuli kind of makes it to a path where everything's gone from this kind of dreary gray darkness to an almost white out, blinding, kind of misty view, you're going to pop your head out of the clouds. And for the first time in weeks, at least, you are atop of the spine of the world mountains, bathed in actual, real sunlight. You are beyond the boundaries of the curse and high enough in the mountains that you are above the clouds and bask in pure sunshine as a large mountain peak stands before you. The map is
Can we
going to
make camp here?
the map is going to basically
break out the skis.
signal that you have to go over this peak, back down through the clouds, in order to reach whatever destination the map is leading you to.
Okay.
As you make your way,
And we're at 1.
yes, just coming over this ridge and the cloud line into just pure basking sunshine. And with that oddly optimistic note for this show, we're gonna leave it there for today.
Yay.
Yeah. hey, hey, nothing bad happened and the sun's out.
Hey.
This is weird.
Yeah, what the hell?
So yeah, you guys have reached the top of the kind of mountain. You're gonna go a little bit over and then back down and end up wherever the mountain trail and the map has been leading you. Yeah. All right. So what we learned today: can't balance encounters based on what you guys could do 2 weeks ago because that little scuffle with the druids was supposed to be a little harder than not everybody getting a turn.
We double attacks now.
I know.
Orryn was just a little slow on the
I
draw.
mean, I literally did just spend like 3 key points in the matter of 2 rounds.
Okay,
So you really
alright.
can't, and I did
And
roll
one
really
round.
good.
Okay.
I haven't
One
rolled
round.
really good at all before this, so.
Okay.
I fell on my
Got
back.
a great axe and a barbarian.
So yours is pretty normal, and Orryn, we don't know yet.
That's formula for my success.
All right, you guys.
The thing about Orryn is he's never really doing a lot of damage anyway.
I'm here to
you know,
know stuff
'cause it,
and
like-
fix things.
But
Yeah.
you do really advantageous things attached to your damages, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely like a supportive kind of thing. Right? Yeah.
wizard engineer. All right, so like I said, an odd happy ending for this show. Bright sunshine, optimism, warmth. What the fuck is going on?
I hate it.
Boo! I didn't sign
Bring
up
out
for
the
this.
monsters.
I want to curse and I want to
Don't
be cold.
trust anything now.
Yeah. Well,
The sunshine is here. Don't trust anything.
As we get out into the sunlight, we're like, ugh, gross.
what's that smell? Oh God, it's us. So yeah, we're gonna leave it here in this kind of glowy sunshine optimism of the end of episode 17, which was conveniently titled "Above the Clouds." I'm glad we. I'm glad
That's
we.
convenient.
I'm glad we got there. It's also the name of a great Gangstar song if you're into Gangstar. Just saying.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we will finish up tonight by meeting the actual people behind our characters tonight, and we'll start with Orryn. Kind of quiet tonight, just kind of along for the ride. Didn't get to fight.
Yeah. Sorry, it's kind of quiet. No,
Oh, you're good, buddy.
it's been a long week.
I
I was
understand.
traveled out of town this past weekend, so I haven't had a break. It's just been work and you know. But anyways, Landon Baker. I play Orryn, and he's usually a little more talkative. I'm a software developer during the day, but husband and dog parent. I guess I'm
At
gonna
night.
say it. Yeah, at night. Yeah.
just at night. It's the only time I hang out with the dogs. Just at night. The rest of the time they can
Yeah.
fuck off.
They just chew on their chew toys during the day while I'm working. Actually, usually they're in my office, leaving drool all over me while I'm trying to get work done. They just,
Good boys.
try to get So, but that's about it. I love Dungeons and Dragons and anything fantasy related, like video games and steampunk as well. So, that's it.
Funny you should mention those kinds of things. We will have something to talk about in that regard sometime in the very near future, so watch out for that announcement. Let us move upstairs to Jaatuuli, wielder of cursed axes, and splitter of drow like logs.
Yes. I am Tenta. I played Jaatuuli. I am husband, cat parent, grocer, metalhead, and lover of all things fighting. So if you want to, oh, my new thing is the professional slap fights, by the way, and I desperately want to get in on that. I think I would enjoy slapping the shit out of somebody for a couple of grand.
All of them look great. I don't know that I could take one, but I was like, I mean, as hard as I could slap somebody for whatever that's worth, I'd pay somebody to let me do it.
You
Like,
need the weight. You need the weight
Yeah.
behind those slaps.
I'm thinking more of like a matter of like momentum. I'm gonna like wind up Happy Gilmore style and like
Physics,
come
man.
running down and then slap the shit out of you. Not just like a big winding slap. Even though those things are awesome. If you haven't seen them, watch them on YouTube.
Oh yeah, you should watch Russian slap fighting on YouTube. The Russian guys are man beasts.
Yeah, dog. They don't even like crack like a smile or grimace or anything. Just stone faced. Bah!
Yeah, and then when the one guy goes down, they don't even grimace or smile. The guy just
They
like,
literally just pick them up. They're like, "Bruh,
Get up,
get
pussy."
back in there.
"What's up? Do again." You know,
All right.
I freaking love it.
All right, fans of slapping, fantastic. You guys are got all the makings of a one-shot party when you guys are fucking weird as shit at the library. Let's move over to our monk, and also destroyer of Drow in one single turn.
Ah! I am Lewis. I played Baldr this evening. I am husband, father to a pain in the ass animals as well. A cat who loves to bite, and a dog who loves to, get his way, love to get their way as well. Fan of video games, motorsports, Russian slap fighting as well. Those are great things to watch on the internet.
Are they not?
Really, the fan of really anything and everything. Motorsports, paintball, action stuff. It's just wide variety. And yeah,
My boy's a
love
Renaissance
being
man.
on part of this on this channel, and then hopefully you'll catch us tomorrow for another one-shot Wednesday that I will be playing in.
All right. And we will finish up with our international correspondent, faller off of cliffs, and apparently Agent Johnny Utah re-aggravating an injury.
I'm Dustin. I'm a Canadian, eh?
Dog, you brought Tim Hortons to the beginning of the show, so I.
Ooh, sponsor us, Timmies.
Real talk.
Yes, my name's Dustin. I live in the Canadas. I love
There's-
fantasy. I love all that Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I'm excited about other potential role-playing opportunities. I'm always sad that I have to wait so long to get to play again with these fantastic gentlemen. And yeah, playing the games, having fun. Not have animals. Don't have the animals. Don't have kids. But things are cool.
Good for you. Good for you, man. I wish I just had a job at Dungeons and Dragons. I don't. I love my wife and my kid, but sometimes I'd be like, yeah, just go to work and play Dungeons and Dragons with the boys. Not bad. All right. Yeah, so once again, let's give it up for our amazing players who show up every week and absolutely just kill it here. I'm so blessed to have them. This channel would not be what it is without this show and these guys, so I thank them every week. Not only here, but in the Discord like 5 more times after the show goes off the air. I've been Manny, at GrowedUpGeek on your social medias, your host and Dungeon Master here on Twilight Tuesday. You can catch me also tomorrow night on this channel for our show, as Lewis mentioned, One Shot Wednesdays. Tomorrow's episode is a level 12 Greek underworld themed one-shot adventure available on the DM's Guild by an amazing creator who I know from a couple of Discords that we are a part of. And then on Sunday, we will be back again on our good friend Wiley Hobbit's Twitch channel for our postmodern take on 5th edition Greyhawk for Greyhawk Lives. So hopefully we will see you again at any of those times. Remember to give us a like, follow, or sub on any of the social medias of choice. And if we don't see you tomorrow or Sunday, hopefully we'll see you again back here next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. for Twilight Malediction. Until then, thank you for joining us tonight, and we will see you at many of the multiple times I'm on the internet. So thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see everybody later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.